Hello, and welcome to We're Golden, where we recap the Golden Bachelor from a golden perspective. I'm Kim Hodges, and I'm 60,
And I'm Jody Harrison Bowers, 63.
and we are giving you the authentic baby boomer take on America's latest TV obsession, The Golden Bachelor.
All right. Women tell all. But we're going to come back to that. We decided we don't want to leave you guys hanging. We want to let you know who got the rose and who was sent home.
Mm-hmm.
Were you surprised that it was Faith?
No, I was so shocked. I couldn't believe it.
I was not shocked.
Because were you not shocked? Because did you see a spoiler alert about it?
I didn't. I made sure. I mean, when I saw the word spoiler, I didn't watch it, but he had some kind of weird connection with Teresa. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's sexual. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't get it. I do think, and I said this last week, I do think that one of the reasons he is attracted, loves her, whatever it is because I think she's very flexible with where she wants to live. Maybe even sexually, but I think
Yeah.
I think that she is a very sexual person, and I also think that she will go anywhere and follow him anywhere. And if he wants to live in Indiana, I think she would leave her family in a second. Not because she doesn't love them, but I think she's more apt to leave. And I do think that she has. Look, I'm divorced, so I know what it's like to date men who have children, and my daughter's meeting other men, not that they met so many men or anything like that, but still, you've got children, you've got grandchildren, and it's not as if Teresa was never remarried. She is a widow, like Gary. So they share that. The other two women were divorced. And that shouldn't be something, but maybe it is. I don't know. And I think
I don't know either. I mean, I guess you won't know you wouldn't know unless you had experienced losing a spouse, I guess. Right. One that you've been married to for most of your life.
Right. So he's got Teresa, he's got in common that they've both lost their spouse. And then you've got Leslie, who I think he really digs, but she's from the Midwest. So that could be a pull there.
Yes, but so why do you think that he ended up with those other two girls? Like, he could have had Joan. He could have had, that didn't make any sense. He could have had Joan or Ellen. Yeah.
Well, we're kind of moving all over the place, and I think it's okay given what it was like today. But I mean, when he and Joan met with Women Tell All, she seemed to have a much bigger connection with him. And then I got the feeling from when she left.
Do you think that was hindsight? Maybe we didn't see it. Maybe they cut it all out. I don't know. Because I didn't, when she left, I was sort of surprised that it was that big of a deal. I didn't even realize they'd had that much of a connection.
I think we both agreed about that we did not see. Yeah. We're like, well, why is he getting all choked up? But maybe they had a bigger connection, a stronger connection in that short period of time than, like you said, that they ever let on. Because when she spoke, when at the Women Tell All, which was the episode today, and who got the second rose to go to the fantasy suites and blah, 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 is that they had Joan come up and speak with Jesse, which I was surprised about. And as I said,
so let's get to that
all right. Okay.
Let's finish this part about Faith not getting the rose.
Okay.
And poor Faith.
I know.
Like, I was so mad for her. And when she first started speaking, I was like, she seemed a little mad, and then not mad, and then mad, but then she pulled it all around at the end where she was almost consoling him, which I think will help her get over it. But I was, at the beginning, I was kind of like, Gary, you let her on. And I can be hard on guys. And I was texting my other friend at the same time, and she was like, no, I've dated a lot of not nice men. He is a really kind, caring person. Like, you can tell he's a kind, caring person. I'm being hard on him because I can be hard on men. My dad messed around on my mom. So I think I have a tendency to say men are being men that a man is being the asshole. But he did say you loved her. And I mean, my gosh, what was she supposed to think? And I don't know. I felt so sorry for her.
I did too. I really was very emotional during that. And she was very stoic after he didn't give her the rose. And you're right. She kept it together. But when they came back to her, when they said, we're going to bring Gary in, before I think she realized her mic was back on, she was like, what's going to happen here, Jesse? She said something to Jesse, like, is he going to be here? She quietly said that before they brought Gary out. And I thought she handled herself really well. And I do agree with you that she did seem to be, I think she was just overall very, very hurt, as she should be. And I did think last week when she said, I love you to him, I do remember I said, I thought he didn't do that on his own. He was prompted by her. And I think he caught himself tonight when he said, in the moment, I did have those feelings, which it's a little weak, but I get it.
Yes, but so when she was first telling that part, she seemed more upset, distraught, heartbroken. She didn't know when she was going to get over it. But then as they kept talking and he was feeling bad about, I promised your son something, which
I promised I would protect your heart.
Yes. And I thought that was really good of him. Like
I
that
did
was,
too.
I mean, the fact that he was feeling bad about that was, I mean, the guy's got some feelings, some heart, but I think when he was feeling bad and then she had to console him, then she kind of got a little more strength or courage back.
Yes, I agree with you. She did. She started finding her voice. And I did think that, and again, that goes back to Gary, what we talked about in like the second episode, was that he was, besides being a restaurateur, a restaurant owner, he was also in development, or he dealt with
human relations, but it was like developing teams. He was into developing teams,
right? And then I heard him on a recent interview where he said that he was a mediator also.
Oh, that's huge.
I think I texted that to you.
You did? That he was a mediator?
Yes. Or maybe I voice texted it to you while I was driving my car, and then something else came up and it never went through. But yeah, I was listening to an interview and he said he was a mediator. And I thought, aha, he's very adept at looking at people's body language, listening to the way they speak, hand gestures. And he says that in the episodes coming, that his daughters were really helpful because they themselves have learn to look at body language and so on, and they were able to pick up on who was the best woman for him to make his decision. Yes.
But so now he can't have contact with them. He didn't have contact with them during the movie. I mean, during the making of it, did he?
He has it when they go to Fantasy Suites. They go to wherever he is. Where did they say he was? In Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Okay, that's kind of creepy. Dad's going into the Fantasy Suite.
I know, yuck. I know. But they get to meet both ladies.
Okay.
And so they get to interview the ladies and give their dad what they think. But going back to Faith, while she was speaking, I thought she's going to be the Golden Bachelorette.
I think so too. What did you think? First of all, she looked
dynamite,
stunning in her dress. I think that was a revenge dress. Then I felt kind of sorry for her because I felt like she was falling out of it a little bit. But
she does have a big chest. I think it's natural.
But her arm, my God, she looked incredible. Her arms looked incredible. Her face looked incredible. Her boobs looked incredible.
Yeah.
I hope he was sitting there thinking, wow,
I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm sure
she was so real and vulnerable. And
she was.
Don't you think everyone is like, we want her to find love?
I do. I think that she's, I used to think that it was going to be April until I saw the way Faith handled herself. And she's such a good human. And I think you're absolutely right. I think everyone watching the show is going to root for Faith and want her to find love. And I know because I've been watching Joan's TikTok that she's really making, she's making lots of TikToks. And I
So
think
do you
she,
think that's a play to get the
for sure.
Bachelorette? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
there's going to be more than one Bachelorette, maybe, right?
Right. But the ladies really only have a chance
For
to
the next
vie for
one.
the next one. I mean, I thought Susan got a lot of airtime. Didn't you
Yeah,
think
yeah, you
so?
text that. She did get a lot of airtime.
And I was wondering what was up that. I thought they were really going to play into Kathy with the zip it. I thought she was
Mhm.
going to get more airtime at the beginning. I wasn't surprised that they gave April because she is such a colorful character. And
They,
the ones,
they allowed everyone to speak, which was good.
yeah,
Did they?
except there were some of them that like in the back road that didn't speak that
Oh,
much.
that's
Like
true. That's true.
I don't think
Like,
Patty said a word.
mm-mm.
And the
Maybe
ones,
Patty doesn't want to. Maybe she
yeah,
was like filler and knew she was going to be that and went along for the ride.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like she was really into it or she cared.
Yeah, because I'd be kind of mad.
I know. But that always happens when they do the men tell all or the women tell all. There's always somebody they don't really talk to. And it's usually the person who doesn't really have much to say. But I thought that Faith handled herself really, really well. It was heart-wrenching. I've watched a lot of those men and women tell all, and this one was really gut-wrenching. It was so real, Kim, right? Didn't like when they first hugged, that's when I started crying.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he came out and they hugged and they were both sobbing.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, those were real emotions.
Yes. Well, she kept having to stop because she was crying. I think she was so nervous about seeing him too. Like she was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to lose it?
I would have
Because
felt that
she,
way.
yeah, because she did keep choking up, poor thing.
I know. I
And,
know.
and at the end, I did you get a little bit of maybe she's going to get over this quicker than she thinks she is? Because it seems to me she may have really wanted this almost for her sister and kid sons to be happy
Oh,
for
I
her.
know. I
Because she was like, I
know.
wanted them to see me like this and not worry about me. And that was like her first thought instead of like, I'm devastated because I loved him so much. I
I
mean, she
used
did say I loved him,
She did.
but
But she
it's,
also wanted her adult children not to worry about her and have her sister not worry. And I understand that feeling because I remember, when Frank asked me to marry him and, when I met him and I couldn't wait for my daughters to meet him. And I thought, this is going to be the person I'm probably going to marry. And I
mhm.
wanted to make sure that they felt good about him, of course, and that they wouldn't have to worry about me. Not that they were losing any sleep over it, but, you know, we all worry about our parents, right?
Oh,
And we
yeah.
want to make sure that they're taken care of,
Yes. We want to make sure they're taken care of, but we want to make sure they're happy.
happy,
Mhm.
and
That they,
safe.
and that they have hugs.
Yes.
And she said someone to take care of her, like,
Yeah.
to be, and so,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
I know
was
you don't ever
more,
want anyone to be lonely when they're older, but you also don't want them to be with the wrong person when they're older. I've heard scenarios where that's even
no,
worse.
that's a really, really good point. And she even referenced, I thought we had such a strong connection from the very first night because he gave her the first impression rose. So she really felt throughout the whole process that she had a strong connection. I know she doubted herself like after like week 2 or something, but especially after that one-on-one and then the hometowns, I would have felt the same way she did.
Yeah, I did feel like he let her on a little, but I guess it's just part of the show
I
and how it
know.
goes. It's a competition show.
I don't know how he came to that decision. I'd love to know why he picked Teresa over Faith. He didn't even tell Faith, I mean Teresa, that he loved her.
No, but
Ugh,
I think early on he cut so many girls so fast
he did.
that I don't think maybe it just by luck he ended up where he was with the ones that he did. It was well, you know what? It was what we said from the very beginning. It was sexual. I mean, I think
Well,
he
I mean,
ended up
I don't think it's all sexual, but he needs to be physically
attracted.
attracted and he's got
Yeah.
to feel something going on and is, in the kitchen, as April would say.
Yes. But I do, but do you not agree that Leslie and
Teresa,
no, Leslie and
Faith.
Faith are the two that I felt like he was really, no, actually all three of them.
Yeah.
All along he was really attracted to them.
Yes, I agree. I agree. They have something that, it's chemistry. It's like why
Chemistry. But the
you
last two that he ended up with, do you think that though that there's probably a lot of chemistry there, which is
Mhm.
very important,
Mhm.
but the rest of his life, all the other things he does, do they fall in that category at all? I mean, they didn't to me.
I think at this point, at 72, the other things don't matter. I think it's as they showed a preview for next week, like he talked about pillow talk,
Mhm.
and I think it's the pillow talk. We all love the pillow talk.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it is. It's who does he see himself getting into bed with and taking walks with and drinking coffee with and
So it's just someone you can have a good conversation with. What is pillow talk to you? Like what do you love to sit and talk to Frank about that's so that makes it easy? Like what is pillow talk?
well, to me, I mean, I was using it literally like in bed,
Oh, okay.
when you're going to bed and like you chit chat in bed and the lights are off or in the morning.
Yeah.
When you have no distractions at all, and it's just the two of you. And, those are the
Which is
things that,
probably the same. Then you have those same conversations you said when you go on a walk, and I see that. Yeah.
right. Intimacy.
Yeah.
And I think so many people overlook the importance of intimacy.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be sexual,
Right.
it's sensual, but it doesn't have to be sexual, but it
Hmm.
is that connection. And that's what helps the connection as you do grow older. Because if you have no connection at all, I mean, it's not going to sustain itself.
No.
So I don't know. I think as somebody said, he might have had that sustainability with Ellen.
Hmm.
And I hope he makes the right decision. I hope he's not just choosing these ladies for the sexual connection or what he perceives as a sexual connection.
Who's it going to be?
I don't know.
Who's going to be the winner?
I don't know.
I don't either. What are they going to do in the fantasy suite? What are they going to do in the fantasy suite?
I think that he's going to have sex with both of them.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because who was it that said at the very beginning, he is not having sex in the fantasy suites?
Somebody said that.
Yeah. And I was like, I think he is.
He is going to have sex. In this interview that I heard him in, they asked, is there going to be fantasy suites? And he said, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And we're not just talking.
Yeah. What did he say? At my age, we still click heels?
Oh, no, boots. Something about boots.
At my age, we still click boots. I don't know. I haven't heard that before.
I never heard that either, but I understood.
Yeah.
Is it kick boots? Is it?
So I think that's what he said. Kick boots or kick heels or something, which
It was something with boots.
okay.
The meaning of kick boot. So I think that's what it is. Kick boots, and we'll have to look it up. But I thought that was a very tender moment. I think both of us looked at him a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
He still does sound like Kermit the Frog, though.
Okay, wait. Have you been saying that all along?
I have.
That he sounds like Kermit the Frog?
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't I say that at the beginning?
Maybe you did you did say that at the very beginning, but how did you mean like his voice?
Yeah. You have to hear him in this interview when you're not looking at him and you're just hearing the voice. Like, oh my God. And I'm wondering if his voice was always like that or because of his hearing aid.
Oh, that's interesting.
I don't know. I don't know. But he seems like a stand-up guy. So I know we've shit on him a few times.
Yes, we have.
I think we've shit on him, but I think he redeemed himself. He definitely all the women seem to really care about him.
They did. They do.
Edith looked gorgeous.
Edith looked gorgeous. They all looked gorgeous. I mean, I thought Kathy in the white suit with her dark hair looked phenomenal. And then I think always Susan picks out the perfect outfit.
Mhm.
And then who was sitting behind Susan? I was like, all three of those girls look incredible with their color on.
Oh, it was Marina
Yeah, she's got such beautiful skin.
and great hair.
Yeah, great hair. But I mean, all the colors and everything that they had. Yeah, it was Marina and then Sandra. Of course, she's got great arms.
Mhm.
Yeah, they all. I mean, it almost like if let me turn this sideways. I mean,
Sandra,
it looks like a damn
yeah, a
beauty
pageant. It looks
pageant.
like a beauty
Yeah,
pageant.
they look incredible.
They do. Sandra talked more than I think she talked the whole show on this episode today. Don't you think she talked so much?
Yeah, she was.
And like the last episode,
you know who talked the least on here? April.
Yeah, she only spoke when Jesse asked her a question, and even Kathy didn't speak that much. Kathy had a huge glow up.
She did.
I mean, I swear, it looks like she had a facelift.
And she looks so sweet. And look, April looks kind of nervous.
She does. No, she looks great. I mean, Edith.
I mean, she does look good, but I feel like she looks like usually she's just kind of more talkative,
bubbly.
Yeah, bubbly,
Yeah.
and she looks sort of straight laced there. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you. So, what did you think of Kris Jenner getting on there?
Oh my gosh, I got chills. I was so happy for Susan, weren't you?
I know.
And I love that she complimented all the women and said, "This is the best one since Trista," which is the last one I watched. So,
right.
Yeah.
Trista was the very first.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really cute. I think that we're going to see more of Susan, more of April, more of Edith, maybe Joan. A lot of people are obsessed with Joan.
Wait, Edith. Why Edith?
The hair. I think she's going to be doing like an anti-aging hair or skin or beauty or dancing, something.
She was even showing us on one of her TikToks, like how the stuff she puts in her hair and all the she's got great hair.
She has amazing hair. And I think she was a dancer or she dances, something like that. But I think we're going to see more from Susan's definitely going to be getting, if she doesn't have a talent agent or doesn't have an agent right now, Susan's definitely going to be making money from this. April should be making money from this. I think Edith is going to be endorsing some type of product.
Yeah.
Who else is there? From the pictures.
Let's see. What about do you think Ellen's going to do anything?
Nah.
So, what'd you say about Sandra?
Nothing.
Well,
I think
that's it. Oh no, what about Ellen?
I can't see her. I don't know, unless she did a pickleball commercial.
Not Ellen, I'm sorry. Joan's
people seem to really love Joan. I don't know what it is about her. She doesn't do anything for me. She seems like a really nice person, and she's beautiful. She looks like Joan Van Ark. I meant to tell you that. Remember Joan Van Ark from what was that show? They all lived at Knots Landing.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Where do I come up with these things?
I don't know, but that
Polly
she
Pocket.
does look like that. And I mean, they interviewed her, like she got a lot of time.
I know. So something might be coming with Joan. I definitely think Edith is going to get some kind of deal, and maybe April if she plays it right. And I do think that Faith.
You know what? I'll tell you what April needs to do. After listening to her on that interview, she needs to have a podcast where she just answers and gives advice.
You're right. That would be good. So maybe she'll do a podcast because she's a therapist.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll do a podcast. That's a great idea. Susan's going to be doing something. She's a rising star. She really is.
Yeah.
And I think Edith is going to do something with hair. April, maybe the podcast. Joan, I don't know. Maybe she's going to be modeling.
Yeah, she could be.
Right. I don't know. She doesn't exude a lot of personality to me. She's very beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but I don't see a lot of pizzazz.
Not a lot of pizzazz, but she's very authentic, and she's very,
She was very authentic tonight.
Yes, and very she's
Insightful.
articulate in her
Yes.
feelings, but I get that. She doesn't have a lot of pizzazz.
Insightful and articulate.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Insightful and articulate. Whereas Ellen is not articulate. I mean, she's not articulate, but
No, she just has a strong, she kind of comes off a little like she's a lot of fun, but she comes off a little strong at certain times.
oh
In
yeah.
in a at a time she doesn't need to come off that strong, kind of like
I think
it's
she's
not
in New
that
York. I think
exciting.
she's from New York.
Oh, is that it?
I think her accent is from New York.
Okay.
I think she's a New
She
Yorker.
definitely has a strong accent.
She does, and I think
Yeah.
she's from New York. So I did notice that a few ladies were missing. I noticed that Peggy wasn't there, and I only noticed Peggy specifically because she's from Connecticut. And I was
Oh
looking for her.
yeah.
And I think she turned 70 and she's in Italy right now.
Oh, so she was just like,
Right.
I've got my life to live.
Right, right. And I don't know who else was missing. I don't remember. We'd have to go back and look at all the ladies, but neither one of us did that. So I'm not really sure who didn't show up, but there were only 13 women there. So Faith is 14. And then the two other 15, 16. So I think there were 20 to begin with. And I have to also apologize. My daughter told me, I said that 2 women go to fantasy suites. In this particular case, it is 2 women that go to fantasy suites, but normally they send 3 people.
Oh, okay.
They send 3 people, they send 1 person home. And
But
then
we're going to watch both fantasy suites in the next episode, and then
right.
there'll be the final. So there's 2 more, but we have a Thanksgiving break, right?
Right.
Okay.
You got
okay.
it. So next week will be the fantasy suites, and then Thanksgiving. Yeah. And
Mhm.
then the last episode will be the finale. I can't wait.
I can't either.
I'm so
Okay.
excited.
So let's go back to the very beginning
All
again.
right,
I
let's go.
have that part where Susan says, she goes, I think I traumatized my son when I said I have on 6-inch heels and I can take 6 inches. She goes, I should have just gone all in and said 8.
I know. I know. I didn't even catch that on night 1. I didn't catch that she said that. Did you?
Yes.
Oh
I
my
about
God.
died. Especially because I didn't like, at the very beginning, I didn't like her. So I was kind of like, good God, woman.
Right, right. No, she's really, I really like her. We're big Susan fans.
Mhm.
And I noticed that I thought there was too much. I don't mean to sound like such a fart, but I thought there was too much talking about the fart, right? Like, why were they talking about that so much?
You mean about having gas?
Yeah.
Um,
Did you think it was funny?
okay, well, let
What
me
am I
just say,
doing?
I never think it's funny because I mean, I grew up with all girls, with 3 girls in our family. I was
Okay.
like, and when I started dating Joe, his family, they talked about it all the time. I was like, there's something wrong with your family that they talk about this all the time. Like, it's not normal to talk about these things. Nobody wants to know when you go to the bathroom or if you have gas or, I mean, nothing. We don't want to know about your
Right.
farts. We don't want to know about any of this.
Right.
But I kind of got used to it because they just kept talking about it for some reason. Like,
I have 2 sisters, so we didn't talk about farts either.
yeah. So when she first said, I can't believe she told Gary she had gas. That's
I
what she whispered
know.
to him, and he thought it was so funny.
I
I would have
know.
been like, "Do not tell me that."
I would not want to know. I wouldn't want to smell it or anything.
No,
I
she
just,
said she was being stinky.
oh,
Oh my
I'm,
god!
I know. I know. It was cute, but I thought, I mean, come on, like, let's talk about something else.
But those group of women, it really was like being on a girls' trip.
I
Watching them
know.
because they were
I
all being
know.
all the things they did and pushing each other. And I mean, everything they were doing was funny.
It looked really fun. And, I don't know if it was Gary. It was Gary who said, we made history.
Yes, that was
This
sweet.
is, I thought this, yeah, was really sweet. Like they did it together.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. It was history making.
So since I haven't watched The Bachelor since the first one, pretty much,
Mhm.
when they do the tells all, are the women being mean to each other generally?
Sometimes they can be.
And do they always show bloopers?
Yes, I think so.
And are they funny?
What
Because
am I
I was
doing?
crying laughing watching these.
Yeah, they're usually funny. They're not mean.
Okay.
Sometimes.
I thought they were hysterical. So what Nancy said, I don't know. I think she was the first one to go. I loved what she said because she's been single a while. Remember her husband died
Right.
when she was 49. She said her kids have a new perspective, a new like refreshed perspective on her. Like they just saw her as mom and now they see her as someone who can date,
Right.
which I
Right.
thought that's pretty cool.
It
And
is
she
really
she
nice.
said support all around from her
Yeah.
family. Yeah.
She strikes me as somebody who's quiet and meek, but she actually has a very nice, assertive personality. I
Mhm.
like her. There's something very easy about being around her.
Yes. Yes.
And
And then
they bring up the kids watching them kiss and the grandkids watching them kiss. I would probably feel really awkward if I were on a show like that. My daughter's watching me kiss somebody.
oh yeah. That'd be weird. Yeah, I don't even like to watch my kids kiss anybody.
Right, right.
Like when my son won homecoming queen, and he date the girl that won homecoming queen with him was a girl he dated all through high school. That was the first time I ever saw him kiss, and I was like, ooh,
Right, right. Like, do you have to do that in front of me?
yeah, don't kiss very long, please.
Right. But they have to be prepared. No, I
Yeah,
thought I agree with you. I thought all the ladies, it was like a high school, it was like high school. It was
yeah.
really, really cute.
That's what.
Uh
So when we get older, and women usually outlive their husbands, the girls that I play bridge with, we decided we're going to move to the college town that's nearby and have a house, and it'll be like our sorority. And we can, because when you're in a college town, it keeps you young. Like we know people who live in college towns, and we're like, you just watch out your window what's going on, and you're going to kind of have some memories of being
right.
young.
What's the college town near you?
University, Norman, Oklahoma, for University of Oklahoma, OU.
Oh,
Boomer sooner, boomer sooner.
Boomer Sooner.
Mhm.
Okay.
So when Kathy was speaking about, she said she comes off really strong and she should have been a little more soft or kind. And Susan chimed in and said, you have the biggest heart. They all kind of chimed in for each other this whole
I
show.
know. I know. That was really sweet. You could
Hmm.
tell Kathy was a good person. I feel bad that so many people, including us, well, me, didn't really care for her. It's just the way you're in the middle of it. And I don't think you forget the cameras are there and you're just thinking about the way you feel, and then you have perspective. And that's why it makes for good TV.
Yeah, I don't know how they forget the cameras there. I would not even be able to speak because I wouldn't forget the camera was there.
I know.
I'd be so afraid I was going to offend someone. Like at Barstool, every time I would say anything, I was like, okay, think before you speak because you're probably going to get in trouble for literally offending somebody,
Anybody, anybody.
anybody. Like, don't say anything. And the young people are like, oh, I can't believe you said that. And I'm like, what did I even say?
Oh, really?
A lot. That happened a lot. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So if I was on a show like this, oh my gosh, the dumbest things come out of my mouth when I don't want them to.
Yeah, but that's what makes it interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's fun to watch other people do it.
Right. Just not ourselves.
Yeah. Kind of like when Sandra sat there and did what she did. Oh my
The
gosh.
farting?
Yes. How long was that?
Was that real?
Was it? Because I've never heard anyone fart that long in my life.
I mean, it looked like it was real because Jesse, Jesse was like, Sandra. And I thought, no, they made that up. They added that sound to it. But I guess they didn't. I mean, that's
I don't
disgusting.
know, but these
That's
women are
disgusting.
hysterical.
To me, it was just disgusting. I
Well,
don't
they
like
were all
burping.
cooking. They were all cooking the food, and obviously somebody maybe it was the meatballs for everyone. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Um, I the farting doesn't overall bother me. It's the burping. Like my oldest daughter burps all the time. Well, not anymore, but she used to burp all the time because she knew it grossed me out.
Mhm.
And I can't stand any bodily function sounds.
No, I'm with you. You just need to keep those to yourself.
Keep it
Yeah.
to yourself
Keep it to
unless you're like
yourself.
really sick or
Yeah.
something.
And don't say the word moist.
Oh God. Well, I watch those baking shows, so they say the word moist all the time.
They do.
So I'm
It's so
like,
bad.
they really say it all the time.
And Joan said another thing. She said she went from, and I can't remember the exact words at the beginning, but she went from maybe being unsure to having a relationship to craving it.
Yes, I wrote
But I
that
can't
down
remember what,
too.
yeah,
Good
what the
job,
word
Kim.
was she said before that. But I thought she's craving it now. She's going to go out and find somebody.
Oh, no, no problem. She's gonna meet somebody. I think she's
Mhm.
raring to go.
Yeah.
And what else?
Okay. Ellen.
Ellen, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
She said one of the things she said was she felt like she all these past years, she felt like she was sleeping and then he woke her up, which I
Oh,
thought was
that
really
was really
beautiful.
sweet. Yeah.
I really felt for her. I really did.
And that's the first time I've seen Roberta's picture. She's really cute.
She
I
was
mean, the
really
name
cute.
Roberta, I'm in my mind. I was picturing some like 90-year-old woman. I don't know why.
Right, right. And then her
But no,
daughter
she
was
was
there.
really cute.
Yeah, she
And
was.
if you didn't cry during that scene, then you have no heart.
I know.
Because that was so,
That was heart-wrenching.
it was. And the fact that her daughter was there was so sweet.
I know. That was heart-wrenching. That really got me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Faith and Gary crying and Ellen crying, those
Yes.
really, really got me.
And usually, okay, not usually, because I haven't watched that many Bachelors, but when they cry, you just kind of go, ugh.
Right.
When these people cry, you're like, they're really upset and showing it. They're not just like embarrassed and caught up in the moment and don't know what to do.
And I think, based on everything we've seen so far, you and I have been, I wouldn't say hardened versus the younger people watching the show, but we're more um relaxed about the emotions. We're like, okay, whatever. Whereas when younger people like in their 30s are watching, you might go, oh, didn't that break your heart? Didn't that break your heart? Like nothing's really broken our heart or
No,
made
you're
us
right.
feel really sad. We have empathy. We're not hard bitches here,
Yeah.
but we're seasoned women. So we've been through a lot of shit already. But these were so raw and real tonight.
Yeah,
I felt it.
sure.
You felt it. And I thought, is it just me? I'm wondering if Kim is feeling the same way.
No, I was like, I'm exhausted.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
It was very, very emotional. And the other thing that Ellen said was feeling love is hard and my hard, wonderful, and scary.
That's what she said. Hard,
Yeah.
wonderful, and scary. I didn't hear her
Yeah.
say that.
All of
That's
it,
good.
all of those different feelings,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um, so she handled it like a pro when she left. And I think she handled Gary really wait, no. Oh, she did talk to him. She was very sweet, very, very generous to what she said to him. And
Who,
he was to
Ellen?
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were both. I mean, he really is unbelievable.
I know he is. Yeah, I do not want to give it to him, but I think he is. Did you see in the audience they held up a sign that said when Gary cries, we all cry?
I
And
didn't
so
see
what you
that.
just said about the younger people, like if I watched my grandparents go through anything, it would you did just go, oh no, she can't be sad or hurt. You just
Yes.
can't. That must be what the younger generation thinks about Gary crying, because I kind of want to go, stop crying, man.
Right. But his cries, his tears were so genuine. Oh my,
Mm-hmm.
they were heart-wrenching. Again, heart-wrenching. That is what I would take away from this episode was it was emotional and heart-wrenching.
Okay, but
Real
I have to play my red card on him on one thing.
okay, go.
Even when he was talking to Faith, he did sort of start saying that I didn't I didn't mean to, I was feeling those same things at that time and this is where I was coming from and I was caught up in it or whatever, and she said stop,
Oh, right.
because I think it was like, don't give me any bullshit. Because he
Right.
was sort of doing that placating a little bit, or I'm going to make this okay, or somehow.
I took it a little bit like that, but I also took it that she just didn't want to hear it. It's like it's
Because
over.
he was kind of bullshitting a little bit right there, I think. And not bullshitting, but it was his way of being diplomatic and kind
Yes.
from his career and how you handle these things where you don't go. And I thought to myself, why doesn't he ever just admit it? Maybe I was kind of leading you on. Maybe I was doing something. And he never really said, because she was like, maybe this, maybe that. And he was like, no, no, no. I really felt those things. Like he was saying, you don't feel that way. But then he never said, oh, maybe I did lead you on. Maybe I did do this. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. He never said any of that. The only thing he said, which I thought was huge that he said it, he said, what I promised your boys, which was huge. But that was the one thing that gave her the ability to turn everything around and have a little bit of control over
Yes.
herself.
Yes. Yes.
But
She
but I
did.
did think he came out with a little bit of BS right in the middle of that.
Yeah, I got a little squirmy in my seat when I thought, oh God, Gary, don't say anything more. You're good with what you're saying right now. You're handling it really well, because he's always the diplomat.
Yeah.
And I think she felt it. I think you're right. She felt it coming out a little bit. And when you're so upset, you just don't want to be placated. You're like,
No,
enough. And
you
that's
don't
what
want to
I
be
think.
told that you're doing something wrong, and you don't want, or what you're doing wrong, and then you don't want someone to sit there and in with empty words try to make you feel better. Like,
Right. Right.
no, no, no.
That was really hard to watch. It
It
was
was hard to
really,
watch.
really, she was so upset. But I've been watching her Instagram, and she's been doing a lot of things, and she's been going a lot of places. So she seems fine.
Okay, let me ask you this. I think she's going to be fine too, especially after
Yeah.
watching her tonight.
Mhm.
Which this all happened before she started doing her Instagram. So,
Right.
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 So I forgot what I was
What?
going to say.
Okay. No, it's just, I know they're posting things about, like, on Instagram, like in real time. Um, because obviously everybody knows the show is over. But she's been like traveling a lot. She was in LA recently.
Okay. I remember
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
Okay.
How are they going to go back to their normal lives after all of this attention? Like even Gary, like he's hosting the CMA awards, right?
Is he?
Or he's doing something on the CMA awards. That guy is getting, yeah, he's doing something. Let me look really quick. Where did I see that? Maybe it was an advertisement on TV. Did they do the awards tonight?
I think the awards were tonight. Mm, I don't think he's hosting it, because it's Peyton Manning and
Oh, that's right. But
some
he
other
did
guy.
something on there. Let me see.
Maybe he's presenting an award.
Let's see.
Yeah,
So,
you're gonna
he,
see.
he stops by the CMA awards, but I don't know what he did.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna be. This is what they do. I mean, they've got their PR team out. He's gonna be doing stuff. He's really,
But even after
again,
the show ends, he's going to be doing stuff. Why? They're promoting him.
because people fell in love with him.
Okay, but so
They
his
want him to
own
sell
PR
their products.
people.
Right. I mean,
Okay.
people are going to want him to sell products. They're going to be wanting, I mean, sure, there have been every hearing aid company that has reached out to him to sell hearing aids.
Yeah.
And, he's got an opportunity to make, at 72 years old, like, he has a brand new career.
Yeah, that's wild.
He's
But so
going to get
how's he
paid
going
for
to go?
everything.
And he's going to have women all over him too, probably, right?
I would think so, unless he does get engaged and it sticks. And so, no. So they'll probably, whoever it is that he gets engaged to, they'll get paid to do events together, because people are obsessed with him. People just,
So the one interview that Jason did with one of
Jared,
the, I mean, no, with one of the
Nick,
other Nick or somebody. No.
what
Um
interview?
oh, Jason Tartik.
Yeah.
He did an interview with one of the older bachelors, but he said, and I guess they had to call off the wedding. Whoever this guy was,
Oh,
I
I
can't
don't
remember
know
what
who
it's,
it
but they
was.
both got paid, so they weren't married yet. So they each got like $100,000
Oh, I think I heard that
to
interview
have him
too.
video the wedding,
Mm-hmm.
and then something else like pick out their house or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah. They get paid a lot of money to do guest appearances.
Yeah. So if they got
Yeah.
married, they could do something with that, and then maybe they filmed stuff at their house too.
And remember, this is the very first Golden Bachelor. So when The Bachelor came out, there wasn't any social media.
Yeah.
There was no social media. So when Trista was the first Bachelorette, there was no social media.
And
So
they were still a lot of places. Like they were all over
yeah,
People Magazine, all over the news.
right, right, right. So now it's so different. Everybody is accessible. They get to go anywhere. So this guy's going to be busy for a while. This is going to be great for him and the woman he gets engaged to. And even if even if the engagement doesn't work, they're going to get a lot of press. I mean, either
So
way, everybody's
what do
getting a
they
lot of
do with
press.
the engagement then? They just get engaged and they go back to their homes and then what?
Well,
I
I
mean,
think, well, they got engaged, so now they're quiet. And then once they're engaged, they start living their life and they can post on social media and they can do guest appearances and make money. Yeah. And I love it that the younger people thought, yes, I do believe that these women, the first thought about doing this show is to find love. But I said this on the very first episode, but let's not underestimate these women and what their goals are, their aspirations are. You telling me that none of them want to be a viral Instagram person or TikTok? Come on. You've got to be an idiot to think that they don't know anything about social media. But maybe some of them don't and don't care. So I get it. I get it. Like, do I think but the front runners there, they're all happy being posting on social media.
oh yeah, they got bit by the bug.
Oh yeah, of course they did. Of course they did. So
They're having
that's
fun.
yes. So that's the whole thing is that it's part of our life. It's not just for younger people. And to think that women over 60 or 65 or 70 are clueless about social media, no, you're underestimating them.
Mm-hmm.
You're really underestimating them. We're gonna see these ladies.
But I will say, I think all of the ones that I have seen on social media, even the ones that are kind of pros at it, are a lot more authentic than a lot of the younger people I see.
Right, because they're not putting up any fronts. They're just being themselves. They don't even know how to be anybody else but them because
That's what they've been their
they
whole
never,
life.
right. And they don't have a business that they're trying to sell or be anything. They're just being themselves, which
Yeah.
is a breath of fresh air,
It is a breath of fresh air.
and I think that's why, again, this show is so popular and why it's going to be around. I can't wait until they announce the Bachelorette. I thought they were going to announce it tonight.
The golden, really?
They did, but I think that's too soon. I think it's after the finale.
Wow, they're going to do it that soon. They already know
No, I
then.
could be wrong. I'm wrong. My daughter's probably would. She's like, Mom, don't say that.
No, but so wait. How often, how quick on the other ones do they announce?
I think it's
Do
after the finale. It's after
like
the
weeks
finale.
after the finale? At the end
No,
of the finale?
so they have the finale and then
Mhm.
they go to the live. I think it's the finale and then they do the live show,
Okay.
like sort of like they did tonight, where they went back to the show and then did the live.
Yeah. But
Um,
what's the live at the very end about?
well, they bring out Gary and the person he proposed to.
Okay.
So the couple comes out and
That's gonna be weird.
I know. And then I think that's usually when they announce the next bachelor or the next bachelorette. That's when they do
Okay.
it.
What names are we throwing in the hat of who's going to be the Bachelorette?
Well, we always thought all along it was going to be April, but tonight I think it might be Faith or Joan,
Faith or Joan?
maybe Susan. I don't know. Susan got a lot of airtime
Yeah.
and Joan got more airtime than I ever thought she would
I don't.
get.
Yeah, we didn't get to see all of Joan.
I didn't see that, but like I said, if you go to Joan's TikTok, she's working it, girlfriend. She is working it. So she might be really pushing for it. So let's see. Faith, I don't know. I think April's out.
I
I
kind of
don't
feel
know.
like April is too.
I just don't. I'm trying to figure out why they gave Joan that time. It won't be Edith.
I'm lost on Joan. I mean, I liked watch. So when they were showing all the bloopers and just all the different things, I thought Joan looks so cute when she's running around and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get to see any of that with her.
No. All right. So I think Faith, it's good. I have 4 picks.
Okay.
Faith, Joan, Susan, April.
Faith, Jones, Susan, April. But
That's
that's
what
a
I think.
lot.
I
Faith,
know. I
Jones.
feel like a loser saying that there's so
Okay,
many.
so let's take out 2 of those. Let's
You
take out
want
one of
to?
those. If you were going to take out one of those, it'd probably be April, wouldn't it?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, so let's leave it at Faith, Joan, and Susan.
And they're all 3 very different women.
Yeah. And
Okay.
who do we think is going to be the winner? Who's going to
Oh,
win Gary? Who's going to marry
oh,
Gary?
I want to say it's Leslie.
I think it's Teresa.
Oh, I hope not. Did you
I
hear the audience when he chose Teresa? Did you hear the audience go, "Oh,
Poor Teresa.
I know."
No, how could he not pick Faith? What
I don't know.
planet is he on?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Teresa reminds him of his deceased wife because she was short
With brown hair.
with brown hair. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe she was from New Jersey. I
I,
don't
s-
know.
I think it's something about her lipstick being all over her face.
Oh my God. I know you keep thinking it's sexual.
I'm
You've got
sorry.
you've got your mind in the gutter. I thought Kathy looked like she had a facelift, but you don't think so.
She just looked great. Well,
She,
the whole time she hardly ever had any makeup
I
on.
know she looked like hell,
Yeah.
except
And
for at
so,
the rose ceremonies.
yeah.
All right, let's go to our superlatives.
Okay.
Wait, not superlatives. Our what do we have?
So the superlatives, we really probably can't do them all tonight. So we want well, we could do the best style, but they all looked incredible.
I think all the women looked great. I
Mhm.
can't pick one.
I couldn't either. They
If
all
any,
picked their colors really well.
right, right. I think Edith really stood out. I thought she looked stunning.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I loved her dress. She looked
Mhm.
great. But Kathy did look very good.
She
She
just
looked
looked so classic in
she
that white.
did. She
Yeah.
did.
And there really wasn't a place to have anybody be a pot stirrer.
No.
And there really wasn't any place for anyone to be the best flirt.
No.
So and so we can't really give the best in bed vibe, but we
No.
could say who's going to be better in bed between Teresa and Leslie, but I think we're going to have to do that vote next week.
Yeah, I agree.
So then
I
we so then we can do the squirm worthy. I know what you're going to say.
yeah, it was when he was trying to back that up, right?
Back that up.
When he was when he was talking to Faith and he was
Oh yeah.
trying to like make excuses, but not really excuses. I mean, I'm really looking for something here.
I thought you were
Other,
going to say it was when somebody farted.
oh, that just made grossed me out all along. I just thought it was gross. I'm like, is she really? I'm going to say it again. Is she really? I really want to know if that was a real fart. I have never farted like that in my entire life. Have you?
No.
Never, like never. Who does that? Does she have GI? I just didn't think it was
They
funny.
all had GI issues from whatever they ate, the meatballs.
The guacamole. I don't know. I
Yeah.
just call me, maybe I don't have a good sense of humor. I don't know. I'd love to know what other people think.
We'll probably hear a lot about it tomorrow.
I know. I know. I'd like to know what your friend thinks.
Who? Oh,
Your
about
friend that
that
you
part.
text. Yeah.
Yeah. She didn't say anything about that's funny.
She didn't.
What about she was just talking about how she thought the women on here are so interesting and have such good qualities.
Yeah, they
And
picked a good bunch of women.
yeah, but what is missing in our youth? And I know that older people probably said that about us too.
Mhm.
But seriously, it's kind of like, is it the phones? Is it Instagram and TikTok and everything that they're just so obsessed with what they look like instead of more depth? I don't know. Anyway, let's don't go there. That's negative. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So what's friend worthy?
If I had to pick who would be my friend out of all the women there,
Mm-hmm.
I never felt this way about Faith. I really kind of wanted to be her friend, not because she was sad, just because I saw a lot more depth to her
Mm-hmm.
in this episode more than ever. But I still love Susan, still hands down. She's the she's I don't know. She might be a front runner for the next Bachelorette. I don't know. I think the world really loves her.
Yeah, they do.
I think that she's not the girl next door.
No.
But they usually
And
go after middle
she's
America, and that would be Joan.
Yes, but the world's pulling for Faith right now because she was so upset.
Right.
But I think the thing that holds me back about Susan, the only thing that holds me back, Susan, every one of those women they're petite. They're skinny. They're tiny. She's
Mhm.
like one of the bigger, and she's not a big
I
girl.
bet you she's not even big.
Yeah, she just is bigger, like looks bigger
Bigger
next to all
boned.
these tiny people.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, let me. So, on my friend worthy, that's a hard one because I think they showed a lot of people's personalities tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kathy would be fun to be friends with, but I always have this thing about Nancy for some reason.
Yeah, you do like Nancy.
I just think, and we really haven't even seen that much about her. I don't know.
No.
I must have been something I read that I was like, she's really sweet. Okay, what about? And so the next Bachelorette we've already gone
Yeah.
over. Okay, so there we have it. I think
There
we
we have it. Episode, what is this? Episode 7? I
don't
don't
do
know.
6. Yes, I think it is 7.
Episode 7. All right. Well, we can't wait. I think this was really fun. I knew it was going to be like a juicy episode
Yeah.
of seeing them. I love seeing all of them all glowed up, but they did look beautiful. I mean, the first night they were there, I don't know, just they are a great group of ladies.
Mm-hmm. They are.
I
They all
say,
have. They've meshed really well. I wonder if they'll have that luck. It will be so interesting to see how the golden men are on the Bachelorette. Like,
it's going to be interesting.
yeah, is that going to be like a more ego fest than the younger people? I don't know. I don't know what
I
it's going to
don't
be
know
like.
either. One last thing, and Jesse says it, and they talk about this a lot, is that the theme has been hope. That, and we talked about this, I think, last week, that it has given everybody hope.
Oh yeah.
It's either awakened something in
Mhm.
them, and it's now, even Ellen spoke about it too, that it's given them hope that there is somebody out there for them, and that it's their time to go out there and get off the sofa, stop watching TV, and go out there and look for that person. Make yourself available.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing I think it's helped me just because I'm married, but so watching it, I think because I have a lot of single friends, and I can be hard on guys, but I think you just each one of those people are so different and yet they all came together and got along and you just cannot judge a book by the cover.
Mm-mm.
You just can't. And you got to listen to them, and sometimes it takes a while to figure out if they're full of shit or not. And generally girls I don't think are full of shit. I think they're kind of bitchy, but guys I think a lot of times are full of shit. Like they're just full of themselves a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how the guys handle it, I think, and what their dynamic is together
Well, we're
compared
assuming
to
there's
the
going to be a
girls.
golden bachelorette, but I can't imagine that there isn't going to
No,
be one.
everyone keeps talking about that.
It's got to
Surely.
be. There's got to be
No,
one.
I've even had a friend who said that she had a guy friend that was up for this,
Oh,
but
okay.
they've contacted him to be one of the bachelors on the Bachelorette, the
Oh,
Golden
wow.
Bachelorette.
Okay.
And maybe that's preliminary if we have a Golden Bachelorette. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
mean, it's just got to be normal, and it just sounds like it's a natural progression
Yeah.
to the Golden Bachelor.
I mean, their numbers have been good, so they really don't have a
Right.
reason not to.
Right. No, this
And
is very
maybe
exciting.
maybe this is how it is for all the women, because I don't know, being a woman, and I have a lot of single friends who are like, there's just not that many great guys out there. Where are they going to find that many guys when
Well,
we
they
have all
have
these great girls? How are they going to find that many guys for one girl?
well, they have said that. They said that they're nervous that they're not going to be able to find enough men
Really?
for a woman over 60. Yes.
Oh, men that really want to be on the show, or men that aren't dating women that are 40?
I think it's all of that. I
Yeah.
think it's finding men that would want to date a woman who's 60. So, how do you find a man over 60 that's taking good care of himself that wants to date a woman in her 60s?
That just makes me want to cry.
I know, but I'm
A
very
smart
excited
man.
for
They're going to
this.
go find the smartest men out there.
And they need to be fit and healthy and,
Mhm.
you know, hearing aids or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm excited about it. All right, this was really fun. I can't wait to see you tomorrow.
Yes, that will be fun.
And yeah. So thank you guys for joining us for this episode of the Golden Bachelor recap on We're Golden. You can find me at Jody Harrison Bauer and Kim at Content Kim. And until next week, stay golden, everybody. Bye-bye.